today we're going to show the process that the dealer goes through to program a key to your vehicle. If you have 2 keys of your own already, you're trying to add that 3rd key, you just do it yourself. I'll show you how to do that in a future video. But in the meantime, if you have 1 key and you want to add an additional one, you have to go to the dealer and use the Ford scan tool to get it programmed on there. So I'll show you the process of that. It's kind of interesting, and many of you will probably be interested in it because it's a whole process, and it's good to know so you're better informed.
Now these keys have to be programmed. They have a transponder inside the key and then a transceiver on the column here to talk to each other, and they're going to verify that key. So you'll get the key cut, everything works fine, opens your door, turns the ignition, and that little lock theft light will be on down there. And you go hit the crank position, start it, and nothing. Now, of course, this is for informational purposes only. I figured you guys might want to see the process and better understand it. So they're going to put your unprogrammed key in the ignition to the on position. They're going to hook up their IDS scan tool like this, and they're going to ID the vehicle, go through the process. And this only takes a few seconds, and then we'll be able to jump right into the programming section. Now in the Ford scan tool, they require you to wait 10 minutes to gain security access, whereas like Chrysler, you can get a key code with the manager's login and basically put that and a couple other codes in there and you're done. These ones still are old-fashioned, and you gotta wait that 10 minutes. So we're gonna go into body, security obviously, and the PATS functions on here. And before you get to pick anything, you're going to have to go through the security process on here. Hit OK. 10 minutes, sure. And literally wait the 10 minutes on here. And this is why you're thinking, why is it taking so long to do my key? Don't they just program it real quick? I already brought it in, it's cut, or whatever the situation is. This is why they're waiting 10 minutes before they can even do anything else on here. Now once the 10 minutes have passed, we've gained security access. Then we can go in and we can pick our option. Right there we have a couple different options: unlimited key mode, on and off, parameter reset if you change a PCM or a cluster, and a couple different things for spare keys. And then up here we can erase all of them, all the keys that are programmed to the vehicle already, in case you have a ex-husband or ex-wife that's crazy and wants to steal the vehicle. You can erase all old keys and start fresh, but you're going to need 2 to start off with. For this one, we're just programming an additional key. It's already on. Hit enter. It'll program it into the vehicle, and that's it. You turn the key off and you're done. So it's pretty simple, but you do need the Ford scan tool to do it and do it properly. Now when you turn your key, it should look something like this. Theft light will prove out just fine, and of course start right up. Also, all your buttons on your remote here are also programmed at the same time the key inside is programmed.
Now there are a few tips I can give you for getting keys cut and programmed at the Ford dealer. And the first one being this key right here. It may look familiar to yours, and it has all the functions built right into it for remote unlocking and locking and all those features. This key costs around $110 to $115 plus programming. So if you don't need all these functions on here, you just want another key to get you into the vehicle and start the vehicle, what you need to ask for is a Rotunda 8075 key, and the dealer should stock them on hand because it's used in many other vehicles that don't have these IKTs built in. So that is an option. It does work. I've done a ton of them and they work just fine. You don't have to buy this if you don't want it. Now let's say you do want a full featured key like this. Well, just make sure that all the remote functions work when you leave the dealer, not just the starting functions of the PATS in here. And the reason being is that the keys, the PATS functions keys, they can go limitless, okay? You can add as many as you want. Whereas the remote transmitter functions on here, it's a maximum of 4. After that, the memory's full and won't recognize anymore. Now, a situation can arise where you bought the vehicle used, okay? And the old previous owner was careless. He kept losing keys. Well, at the end, when he sold the vehicle to you, he only had one key to give you. Guess what? You want another key. So you go to the dealer, you get it programmed. There'll be no error codes for the technician, and you'll go out, you'll start it, and you'll drive away, think everything's fine, and you get home and you realize none of these functions work on here. What they have to do is erase all known keys and all the keys that you want to actually work in the vehicle get programmed in, and that way you'll have the remote function back on there. Especially the Transit Connects. They have a really funky key programming procedure. Like I said, the PATS part will be just fine, but this part right here won't work, and the lights will flash, all kinds of weird problems will happen. So watch out for that on the Transit Connects also. Make sure everything's fully functional before you leave the dealership.